In sprint relays, everything can change in a single second. In this video, we compare two electrifying 4x100m races, Kenya's high-pressure survival run in Birmingham and the USA's composed execution in London. Two styles, two outcomes, and one key question: what truly wins races?
St. Lucia go in lane 6 from these 6 teams. Michael Joseph, their lead-off fella, all over to Dylan Edwin, Leonce and Stephen Charles on the final leg. Ghana, well, Sean Sapo-Antwi on the lead-off leg for them. Benjamin Azamati, who was 4th in the 100 on the back straight. Watch him for Ghana in lane 5. And then Agere and Amoa. The Gambia going for Jobe, Juve, Kamara and Jammeh. Then the Nigerians, well, they're probably the best squad here. Raymond Akebwo goes on the lead-off for them. He'll hand over to Favour Ashe. He was 9th in the 100 in effect. He almost made the final, Ashe. He's on the second leg for them. Akintola on leg 3. And then Seye Ogunluwe, who was the anchorman back in 2018 for them in the final for Nigeria. But they were, as I say, disqualified from that final on the Gold Coast. Well, we know the 3 teams through from the first heat. 4th place team Singapore and 39.95. I don't think that's too daunting a prospect for the 4th team in this one. We shall see the second heat of the men's 4x100 metres. The first 3 teams go through by right to tomorrow's final. Nigeria in 3, the Gambia in 4, Ghana in 5, St. Lucia in 6, Turks and Caicos Islands in 7, and Kenya on the outside in lane 8 with the 100-metre champion here in Birmingham on the last leg. Away they go. Wouldn't it be great to see Omanyala do special things in the final leg? Going well at the moment. Ghana in the centre there through Sapo-Antwi. Good changeover for Ghana. Good safe changeover, that is. The Kenyans going well. Lepta picks it down the outside in lane 8 as well. Great running by Azamati on the second leg there for Ghana. Centre of picture in the yellow. My word, he made up some metres there. Also going brilliantly, Nigeria in lane 3. Nigeria flying and in the lead by a big margin at the moment. Akintola on that third leg for Nigeria. Ogunluwe takes it over and they steam away with this one. It's going to be a 3 or 4 metre win. But look at the man from Kenya coming through. Omanyala almost catches him there, only about a metre down. He made up massive ground over the last 60 in that 100 final leg of the 4x1. Omanyala takes Kenya through in second place, no doubt about that. The winning time 38.85. Well, it's a little bit slower than England in the first heat. Kenya setting a personal best 38.92. I think that might unofficially be a Kenyan record. 38.92 by Kenya. Indeed, is a big chunk off the Kenyan national record in second place. And Ghana in third, 39.05. They also go through by right. And then looking for the qualifying teams. Remember Singapore 39.95. Well, they will go through as the 4th placer, as will the Gambia from this second heat, 39.77 in 4th place. So the first 4 teams from this second heat go through to tomorrow's final. Same from the first heat. First 4 teams are through.
And the Gambians just realising that they've taken one of the non-automatic spots. St. Lucia in this one miss out by 100th of a second, just behind Singapore. Brilliant third leg coming through on the inside from Akintola of Nigeria. And what an anchor leg by Omanyala. He was glancing left and right. At this stage, from 2 to 3, the Nigerians go from Ashe to Akintola, and Akintola, a small figure, ran a wonderful bend to come through on the inside of Agur. And then Ogunlewe anchoring them home. But watch Omanyala on the left of picture. He starts having a little glance across in a minute. Yeah, there he goes. And again, plenty left in the tank, mate. I'll see you in the final. Great work by the African nations. Nigeria, Kenya and Ghana, with the Gambia also making it through. They really do have such a good quartet, the Nigerians and the Kenyans. England may well not have that final all their own way. We shall see. Watch Omanyala here. He is such an aggressive, powerful looking man. I love this little glance. There he goes again. just having a look to double check that he'd come through ahead of the Ghanaian.
Rob, he's got the physical presence of a bulldog, hasn't he? So powerful. There we can confirm.
There is the last track event of the evening. A couple of field events still going on. Poland, Jamaica, Germany, Great Britain in 4, South Africa in 5, France in 6, Republic of China in 7, and the USA in lane 8. Well, the USA, their lead-off man will be Jeff Debs. He'll hand over to Kendall Williams. On Bockway, Obi of Bockway, and then Cameron Burrell, son of Leroy Burrell, will be their anchor man. Leroy Burrell, who back in 1995 set a world record for 100 in Lausanne. China go in lane 7. Zhu Haiyang, Yang Jincheng, B, and Zhu on the 3rd and 4th legs for them. There's the French squad. They always carry the baton well, the French. Usually punch above their weight. Zizi, René, Doutambi and Fall making up their quartet. No Vincent Lemaitre, who injured his hamstring in the Paris Diamond League a couple of weeks back. South Africa will be led off by Antonio Elkanah, running the individual 400. Simon Makakwe, Engel and Adams, their quartet. Great Britain led off by Reuben Arthur. The same leg, the first leg, as he ran for winning the English team, the winning English team in the Commonwealth Games back in March. Germany going 3. That's Michael Bryan. Praktik Domogala will take on the back straight leg. Then Roy Schmidt the second bend, and the baton will be carried home by Axelexei Platini Menga for them. Jamaica, well, what can they do here? Javoy Tucker will lead them out. He'll pass on to Nesta Carter. Yes, the Nesta Carter for Jamaica, who will be on the second leg in return to international athletics here tonight since his disqualification from the Olympics back in 2008. That was a very retrospective disqualification, by the way. Jamaicans in 2 and Poland in 1 there. The lead-off man, Veskowiak from Olszewski, and then on to Kopek. Slowikowski will carry the baton home for them. Well, there is Reuben Arthur. The best time by British quartet this year was that winning time by England at the Commonwealth Games, 38.13. British record, 37.47. That might be a very tall order. Of course, the world record held by Jamaica, including a certain Usain Bolt in this stadium back on the 11th of August 2012. 36.84. I don't think we're going to see that. Poland in 1, Jamaica in 2, then Germany 3, Great Britain going 4, South Africa 5, France in 6, China 7, USA on the outside in lane 8. Well, the baton changes can make all the difference. You can win just by maintaining that speed of the baton, even if your athletes aren't the greatest quartet. Safe changeovers there by everybody, it looks like, although Jamaica had a bit of a mare, and their second leg athletes, Carter, going way out into lane 2 as he picked up the baton. Very safe, not a great changeover from the USA there, possibly going best of all at the moment. South Africa in 5 rather, and Germany looking fabulous in 3. Germany with good changeovers. Will their last leg man, Menga here, carry it home well, or will it be chased down? They're coming at him, and here comes the American Burrell on the outside. USA are going to take it by a metre from Jamaica, I think, just out tipping the South Africans. It was a tall order for Ricardo Adams of South Africa to hang on to that lead. It was a healthy lead, maybe a couple of metres when he took over on that anchor leg, but surely it was too much to ask to expect him to hold on from the USA. And the Americans there winning pretty comfortably eventually, 38.42. Well, it's not this year, that would be by the Japanese, 37.8, but it nonetheless brought them home about a metre clear of Jamaica. Changeovers very safe, almost too safe, I think, Catherine. Certainly that second changeover by the USA, but it's a lot better than dropping it, which we see so often.
Well, we've seen all the big teams in the world at some point have absolute relay disasters. Oh, the German here, as you say, Tim, he knew they were going to be coming, but look at that, the finish in the end from the American. The Jamaican was finishing like an absolute train as well on the inside, but that's 4 successive track wins by the USA. Here's some changeovers here. Oh, it's the incoming runner's responsibility to hand the baton over. You have to put your hand, of course, in a high, good, clear position, but it's the incoming runner's responsibility. So Jamaica had a bit of a fumble, but the USA, fair play to them. Look at that, looks across, 8 points.
And the outgoing runner, of course, shouldn't have to look back. He should just feel that slap of the baton into the palm of his hand, shouldn't he? Great Britain, by the way, 8th and last in that one. Not what they wanted, goodness me. does indeed conclude the track action for this first day, and we'll update you on the scores, although of course the women's javelin and men's high jump have yet to be built into the overall totals. So much can change on day 2, of course. Plenty of room for error.
8 points for the United States of America, 38.42 seconds. Always exciting, the relays.
The men's 4x100 meters relay, across 2 very different stages, the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and the Athletics World Cup in London, offered a powerful study in contrast, not just between teams, but between philosophies of sprinting, survival versus control, raw force versus structured execution, and individual brilliance versus collective precision. In Birmingham, Kenya entered the race as outsiders. Drawn in lane 8, the least favorable position, they were already at a visual and tactical disadvantage. Unlike established relay nations, such as Nigeria and Ghana, Kenya lacked a deep tradition in the 4x100 meters. Their approach reflected that reality. The early stages of the race were cautious, almost conservative. Baton exchanges were not aggressive. They were safe. The objective was simple: avoid elimination. Nigeria and Ghana, by contrast, ran like seasoned relay units. Their exchanges were sharper, their acceleration phases more confident. Ghana, through Benjamin Azamati, demonstrated fluid sprint mechanics on the back straight, while Nigeria asserted control by the third exchange. At that moment, Kenya was still on the outside of qualification. The race appeared to be slipping away. But Kenya had one decisive advantage: Ferdinand Omanyala. When he received the baton, the equation changed instantly. Trailing by roughly a meter, Omanyala transformed the race from a tactical exercise into a pure sprinting battle. His acceleration was explosive, almost violent in its intent. Unlike the controlled, rhythmic running seen from teams like Ghana, Omanyala's stride carried a sense of urgency and dominance. Over the final 60 meters, he systematically erased the deficit. What made his anchor leg exceptional was not just speed, but decision-making. His brief glances to either side were not signs of hesitation. They were calculations. He measured the field, then committed fully. Kenya surged into second place in 38.92 seconds, securing qualification in dramatic fashion. It was a performance built on pressure, instinct, and individual responsibility. Now contrast that with London. At the Athletics World Cup, the United States approached the relay from the opposite direction. This was not a team fighting to survive. It was a team built to win. Their lineup, anchored by Noah Lyles, carried both pedigree and expectation. But unlike Kenya's reliance on one decisive moment, the U.S. strategy was rooted in consistency. From the opening leg, their execution was measured. The second exchange, often a point of vulnerability in sprint relays, was handled conservatively. It wasn't the fastest transition, but it was clean. That decision reflects a key difference between elite relay programs and developing ones: risk management. The U.S. prioritized certainty over marginal gains. Germany, in that same race, showcased what might be considered the ideal technical model. Their baton exchanges were nearly flawless, maximizing speed through the acceleration zones. By the final bend, they appeared to have built a winning position, not through individual brilliance, but through collective efficiency. And yet, even that wasn't enough. When Noah Lyles received the baton, the race shifted in a way strikingly similar to Birmingham. Like Omanyala, Lyles turned the final 100 meters into a demonstration of top-end speed. Starting slightly behind, he accelerated smoothly, without the visible strain that characterized Omanyala's run. Where Omanyala was forceful and aggressive, Lyles was fluid and controlled. Jamaica's anchor challenged hard, closing rapidly, but Lyles maintained composure. In the final meters, the United States edged ahead, winning in 38.42 seconds, just 1/10 of a second clear. It was not a comeback born of desperation, but one executed with precision and confidence. Placing these two races side by side reveals deeper insights into modern sprinting. Kenya's performance represents emergence. It highlights how a nation without a strong relay tradition can still compete through individual excellence. Their race was imperfect, Technically less refined, strategically reactive, but emotionally and physically powerful. Omanyala's anchor leg didn't just rescue the team, it redefined their potential. The United States, on the other hand, demonstrated maturity. Their race was not about rescuing a situation, but about managing it. Even without the fastest exchanges, their structure held. And when the moment came, they relied on a world-class finisher, not to save the race, but to complete it. There is also a stylistic contrast between the two anchor legs. Omanyala's run was built on aggression and visible intensity, a response to immediate pressure. Lyles's performance, by comparison, was composed, almost inevitable, the product of a system that trusts its process. Yet despite these differences, both races converge on one essential truth. The 4x100 meters relay is ultimately decided in the final 100 meters. No matter how clean the exchanges or how strong the positioning, victory often comes down to who can deliver under maximum pressure. In Birmingham, that pressure created a breakthrough moment for Kenya. In London, it confirmed the reliability of an established powerhouse. Two races, two narratives, but the same conclusion. Speed wins. But how you arrive at that final burst, through chaos or control, defines everything.